Netflix's latest hit, Wednesday, premiered a few days ago to positive reviews from critics and audiences alike. But the series has also been plagued by its fair share of allegations, most of which have come from the LGBTQIA community. The show has been accused of queerbaiting viewers with the relationship between Wednesday and her roommate and eventual best friend Enid. Keep watching as we delve deeper into these allegations and Ortega's response to them. Wednesday's queerbaiting claims first appeared on Twitter. Tensions only got higher when Netflix started actively hiding replies to their posts about the latest show surrounding the Addams Family, specifically ones mentioning the words gay and lesbian. In an era of LGBTQ representation in the media, the troubling practice of queerbaiting, through which shows tease an LGBTQ attachment only enough to maintain viewership within key demographics, remains prevalent and troubling in the entertainment industry, which, funnily enough, is an industry that prides itself on its progressivism. Let's talk about the relationship in the show that aggravated viewers. Wednesday Addams and Enid Sinclair clearly share a close relationship in the show, one that is all the more interesting because Wednesday isn't someone who forms close relationships with very many people, not even within her own family. The two are initially forced to share a room when Wednesday is forcibly sent to Nevermore Academy. Enid's persistent efforts to connect with her new roommate, coupled with Wednesday's begrudging willingness to soften ever so slightly for Enid's sake, all culminate in an affectionate attachment between the two. According to canon, the two's relationship is supposed to be strictly platonic, with Enid dating Ajax and Wednesday in her complicated situationship with Tyler. But the show very precariously snuck in some suggestions of a relationship that was more than a friendship between the two. It's this tightrope walk between suggestion and actual depiction of gay relationships that frustrated viewers of the show. But social media attitudes have shown that audiences actually want to see a full-on relationship between Wednesday and Enid. In fact, the pairing has already garnered countless tweets and other engagements on multiple platforms. The relationship between the two can be construed as a romantic partnership in every way except for any actual indications of romance. In the conventional sense, at least, viewers have found there to be aspects of Wednesday's behavior with Enid, like missing her when she's gone, reciprocating her hugs, and being especially receptive to her advice and pleas that Wednesday doesn't exhibit with anybody else in the series. Not even Tyler or Xavier, both of whom have been positioned as potential love interests for our protagonist. The same fans have highlighted the fact that their analysis doesn't intend to diminish the significance of female friendships. You have to agree that in an industry where female friendships are usually typified by negative stereotypes like petty infighting, passiveness, jealousy, and a serious lack of loyalty, it's quite refreshing to see the truth of friendships between most women. And this ambiguity is precisely what presents a challenge. The difficult aspect of queerbaiting is that there isn't really any kind of discernible method to determine whether the writers of a show intended to bait audiences, or whether a particular relationship in their show was constructed as an extremely close but completely platonic friendship. What complicates the whole thing even further is the fact that close female friendships are super rare in the media. Recently, there has been a push from audiences to see more of such friendships, so it's entirely possible that Wednesday may have been catering to that request by depicting the close relationship between the two female misfits. Why is Wednesday and Enid's relationship important to the story? Wednesday and Enid start off on tense terms, mainly because Enid is the physical representation of pretty much everything that Wednesday shuns. Enid is affectionate, outgoing, and colorful, while Wednesday is reserved, monochromatic, and seemingly allergic to displays of emotion. Regardless, the two manage to forge a friendship that's marked by extreme loyalty and love. Enid makes a conscious and consistent effort to respect Wednesday's boundaries while calling her out when she feels it necessary, while Wednesday expresses a clear willingness to expand her boundaries to accommodate Enid's presence and personality. Most viewers found it to be the type of character growth that we are prone to seeing for the purposes of the development of a romantic storyline. But romance aside, the compassion that each showed the other majorly supported Wednesday's emotional evolution, while also giving the show a moral direction. Initially, we see Wednesday wanting to solve the mystery at Nevermore simply because she enjoyed the pursuit of an unsolved mystery, but Enid's presence and influence over her motivated her to seek justice for a more personal and morally charged reason. Maybe the whole ordeal has more to do with Netflix's history of queerbaiting. Wednesday's assertions are just the latest in the streaming giant's history of failing its LGBTQ viewers, between canceling shows with queer leads like First Kill and teasing Will's sexuality for 4 whole seasons of Stranger Things. Netflix doesn't have a very queer-friendly record. Arguably, even the mere implication of a character's queerness would have been enough enough in a long-gone era, back when the media completely prohibited the ability of TV shows and movies to depict queer relationships openly. However, with the advent of streaming services and the diversification of media as a whole, queer relationships don't really need to be kept as obscure anymore. There's nothing that should stop them from taking center stage at this point. Fans say that whether the first season of this uber-successful show is guilty of queerbaiting isn't the issue. Rather, it's the fact that the media is still sticking to its exclusionary practices when it comes to the LGBTQ community. Whether this is because of a fear of losing more conservative viewers, because of a lack of writers and executives from the queer community, or a combination of both, it doesn't really matter as long as the media continues to disappoint such a prominent part of its viewership. On the other hand, maybe Wednesday and Enid's relationship really isn't exploitative. Maybe it really is just a uniquely supportive and caring friendship and nothing more. What would support this is the fact that the show does feature two straight-up queer characters, Eugene's mothers, who pay him a visit at the hospital after he's attacked. So perhaps portraying queer characters without having their storylines revolve around their sexualities does more for the normalization of queer depiction in media. But then again, these two characters have such a tiny role in the series that some may view the representation as a consolation prize. Jenna Ortega seems to disagree with all these assertions. The actress, though, recently opened up about her portrayal of the character, stating that she thinks of her as a gay icon. Ever since the Addams Family film franchise made its debut back in the 90s, many members of the queer community have resonated with the gothic, death-obsessed teenager. When questioned about what she thinks about that, Ortega said that she thinks it's because she's a She's cool, she's got a nice sense of style, but she's somebody who embraces her differences and isn't out to please anybody. On top of all that, viewers have been speculating whether the character may actually be queer or in the series, we see her with two potential male love interests, but most viewers think that she doesn't seem very interested in either of them. She briefly dates Tyler, but reluctantly so, and appears to avoid Xavier pretty much throughout the season. When Ortega was asked whether her character would date Xavier in the next season, she said that she felt that now that Tyler was off the table, she might be off of boys for a while. She also said that she thinks they're definitely going to grow closer, but that it's going to be more of a brother-sister kind of dynamic. Some fans even think Wednesday might be bisexual. There's a line in the first episode where when she tells Xavier that she's waiting for someone, he asks her who the lucky guy or girl is, to which she replies with, "What does it matter to you?" That, coupled with her seemingly romantic relationship with Enid, has fans believing that there's more to Wednesday than we know so far. Ortega hasn't addressed these theories herself, but Emma, the actor playing Enid, said, "You know what I always say, and they were roommates." While this isn't really any kind of confirmation, it's Emma referencing the meme in which people refer to queer couples as roommates. Emma continued to tell Elite Daily that that was something Ortega and her would say to each other all the time. So that just confirms that the two actors have definitely picked up on the queer vibes between their characters, even if they haven't been or aren't going to be explored in the show itself. Maybe the spooky amount of subtext is what we're going to have to settle for. That's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts on the queerbaiting issue surrounding Wednesday? Do you think there's any truth to the assertions regarding Wednesday's sexuality? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.